module or particular unit. So they will just check whether that particular code is working fine or not. Checking that particular checking that particular unit. See, now unit testing itself, it is nothing but, means the name itself, it was defining as a unit. Unit is the smallest part of an application. Testing the smallest part of an application is called a unit testing. So now this particular unit testing would be done by the developers, and then this would be the initial step of first testing, because before it given to the testing team, the developer will first test this one and then give the result back. This is as simpler as this. So now when I was trying to cooking something, so before serving to the end user, so first I will test that. So while I'm cooking itself, I'll see that whether all these ingredients are matching, or all the ingredients are good or not. So now at that point of time, I'll just taste this and then see that whether the things are looking good or not. So at that point of time, so this is called a unit testing. So now it is not only for the login, it can take for anything. So either it's for the restaurant search, or for the payment, or for the Insta, or it's for the settings, if it any particular module. So any particular develops the code, and he will checks whether that particular functionality what he developed, whether it is good or not, whether it is working or not. And then he pushed that particular code to club them. So this is called unit testing. In unit level, we will be performing the UTs. UTs means unit tests. And who would be doing this one? Developers would be doing this one. Okay. So if you see here, correspondingly, you can see that. So now this is what are levels of testing. Now this is what are testing. This will be called as pyramid, or this can be called as layers. So this is very, very important topic which you need to understand. So testing pyramid and what are the testing layers. When you join for any particular organization, so I told you, right, so certain prerequisites you need to ask. Hey, what is the SDLC you're working with, and what is the type of application which you're working with it, and what are the different environments you will be having it. So these are the generic questions which you're asking about it. But now what are the specific questions you need to ask from the point of testing point of view? So these are the things which you need to test. First question you need to ask them. So this is where you're deriving your scope of work. Any particular job you got it, you first need to ask, hey, what is my scope of work? Right? So what I need to do. So because on that particular thing only, whether you have the skill set or not, whether you have that particular resources or not, so those things you will be evaluating. So now in this particular scope of testing, so you would be understanding that what exactly you're going to get at. So this will talks about from the layers. So this is a broader spectrum. Under this particular broader spectrum, you'll be having different types of testing. So what are the different type of testings? Now here you have UTs. UTs is unit testing. And now in this particular module level, you would be having the functional testing or regression testing. Under functional testing, you have another 15 to 16 categories of testings are there. Now, this would be contributed. So now when it comes to this particular module level, this would be contributed to these all categories of testings would be performed as part of module level. See, that is the reason you need to contrast this particular pyramid and you need to talk about it, because you will be doing the functional testing in these particular 3 layers. What are these particular layers? So now you would be, means anyways, Aarti and Saujanya has been covered as part of this particular layers, right? Now you need to understand here how this would be relevant to this one. So let me first take this particular things and then coming to this one. Now before jumping to this one, what is functional testing? So probably yesterday you might be discussing about this one, right? What is functional testing?
Functional testing means to test the software according to the requirement specification, it's working or not.
That is testing,
Functionality of an application.
Checking the functional properties and the application.
See, as I told you, right, everyone will have their own definition. And as I told you, if you just type functional testing in the Google, you'll be getting some thousands of definitions. But you need to understand the basic concept of this one. That's it. And you can define it in your any particular regular languages. What is functional testing? And you remember throughout your, if you choose in the life of tester, so this would be throughout your life, functional and regression. So this is the basic step. So now for an example, if you say that, hey, I written a novel, but if you're not saying the alphabets, how it would be? If you say that I have written a novel, and if you're not able to talk about past tense, present tense, simple tense, a simple grammar, how it look like? So if you say that, hey, I have 10 years experience, 15-year experience, 20 years experience, it doesn't really care. But if you're not able to talk about the basic things, you're gone. So these are the testing foundations and the basics. What are the layers of testing, levels of testing, testing methodologies? So now here at this particular point of time, we are talking from the point of the functional and regression. These are the basic, very basic terms which we need to understand it very thoroughly. Functional, the name itself, it was saying that checking or verifying and validating the functionality of an application, then it is called functional testing. But always you remember, not only defining the definition, don't define the definition. Always remember that, go on mute. So always you remember that you need to give an example for that one. That makes a lot of difference. So for me, means even for your all the previous batches, for all your seniors, so we used to say the same thing. When you're defining any particular type of testing, give an example, so that with this particular example, the people can clearly understand that, hey, this guy knows the topic. So if you ask me to define this one, verifying and validating the functionality of any particular software is called functional testing. Example, that means you can take Swiggy. I'll be just entering the username, password, and click the login button. I'll be entering into this. Means entering into the home page. Means what is the functionality of the application? If I enter the right credentials, it should be entered into the home page. If I enter the wrong credentials, it shouldn't enter me into the home page. So this is the functionality of the application, right? So now checking the functionality of the application is called functional testing. Now you can take, see now why we usually take the login functionality as an example is because that is simple to understand. Now I can take any example. So now for an example, now I selected multiple products in the Flipkart, and then I add to my cart and do my payment, and I got the successfully order placed. So now this is the functionality of the application. Means when I added these particular products to the cart, all the products should add to the cart. That is a functionality of the particular add to cart button, right? Now when I click this buy now, immediately it should take me to the payment page. So from the payment page, if I selected my UPI or credit card or internet banking, I should be able to pay that particular amount, and it should be able to send me successfully this particular payment has been done and order successfully placed. So this is a functionality of the application. Now what you're trying to do, what is the job of a testing? We are validating that particular functionality of that particular application. Then this is called functional testing. To make it some more detail, so if you wanted to understand a little more detail, verifying and validating the functionality of the GUI object. Now for an example, what is this GUI or UI object? What do you mean by UI object?
User
Now,
interface.
User interface.
User interface.
Graphical user interface.
So now here you have
Like-
username, you have password, and this is login button. Now these are the things which is called as GUI objects. What are the GUI objects?
Graphical user interface.
Login
Buttons,
button.
labels.
It's like login
Menus,
labels.
colors,
login
images.
Cancel button.
See now for an example,
Radio buttons.
if I have opened this particular page, now you can see the lot of things, right? So now this is a button. Okay, this is a button, and these are the links, right? These are the links, and this is a carousel button.
Whatever
And
we
this
are
is
seeing
pop-up.
with naked eye.
Now, yeah, whatever the things which we are trying to see with our naked eyes, and then which we can perform the action on that particular objects. So now these are all things are called as objects, UI objects. user interface objects. See, the name itself is saying that user interfacing objects means user can interface, means who can use this particular object via, see now what is an interface? It's a medium which it can convert or transfer, or it helps to do some activity, then that is called interfaces, right? So user interface objects, UI objects. Now these all things are UI objects. Checking the functionality of this particular UI objects, right? So now for an example, if I clicked on this one, it says that I liked it. If I clicked on this one, I didn't like it. If I click on this one, it closes. So that is the functionality of the close button. If I click on like, means that's a liked functionality. Now, if I clicked on this login, see if I clicked on my profile, so now that is the functionality of my profile button. If I clicked on that, it need to take me to this particular page. So this is called functional testing. Verifying and validating any particular UI object functionality, then this is called as a functional testing. And functional testing can be performed by the QA test engineers. So now previously, this one means the units are done by the developers. Now this is what it called as white box testing. Now you understand, right? What we are trying to match it. We are mapping to the methodologies we have been learned previously, right? All these methodologies we are going to map. Now remaining sectors, now what it will be done, who will be doing this one? So this will be done by the black box developers or testers. Black box testers. Who are the black box testers? Who are the
QA.
black box testers? All the QA or the test
Testers.
engineers
QAs,
or the senior test engineers or software test
Without
engineers,
technical
all these
knowledge.
people.
testing team.
No, it shouldn't be not without a technical knowledge, without not having the internal coding structure. So now coding structure we will not understand, because we will never go. See now, if I wanted to test this particular Flipkart application, see now I'm clicking on this particular Flipkart button, whether I'll see that whether it go to the home page or not. I can do this one. So now this is what the black box means, external functionality I was testing it. But whether how they have written this particular code, so that I don't know, right? I don't know what the code they have been written for this one. So without having the internal coding structure knowledge, testing the application from the external part based upon the requirements, then this is called black box testing. Now, when we do this particular thing, so this all functional testings and the remaining things would be purely a black box testing. And when this particular unit testing would be done, so this would be done. So the unit is the smallest part of an application. Testing the unit, that particular unit is called unit testing, and unit testing will be done by the developer, and this is called white box testing. And this would be done where it would be done in the unit level. Unit testing will be done on unit level. Means now you have your car parking. So now you went for an office or you went for a shopping mall. Where is your car parking? Ground level, B1, B2. So that is what you are unit testing. Now I have gents wear, kids wear, women's wear. So now every floor will have their specific needs. They will be having it, right? So now this is how these testing layers are also classified. So these are the different levels. In that level, every level will have a specific agenda, specific objective. Now in this level, we only perform unit testing. And who performs the unit testing? Developers will perform. And this is what called as white box testing. So this is the thing. So now this is how you need to map your testing pyramid. So now here you see it, right? Your testing pyramid, testing levels, and your testing methodologies also. Now this is how you need to connect your dots. So this is the way you need to connect it. Okay. So with the levels of testing. Okay, now we have been coming to this one only, right? Okay, fine. So this is how you need to do your test, means from the testing pyramid, from the testing levels, and then you're going on. Now, what is this particular API layer or UI layer or ETL? What is you meant by these three? What is you meant by these three?
like API layer means like backend side. ETL means database layer.
API means we'll check the data flow from the one module to another module.
So,
API means if we request something it, to show the answer.
API,
That flow we
API
can
acts
check through the API.
Postman, right?
API acts as a bridge between the backend layer to the front end, sir.
Now I remove this API. I just kept the backend. Now, see, you no need to worry about that particular APIs. See, now what you need to understand is, if you understand our, once again, type of applications was depend upon what? Type of applications depends upon what?
Presentation layer, front end presentation layer,
Layers,
business logic layer, and backend business logic layer.
application which
Yes. See, now on the layers, how we have been done. Now we have been taken backend layer,
yes.
UI layer, DB layer, or this will be called UI. We call this one as presentation layer, right? Presentation layer, backend layer, DB layer.
And
This is what we
database.
have been talking. Database layer, DB layer means database layer, right? Now these are the three things which you are talking about it. Backend layer, presentation layer, DB layer. Very simple, right? Now that is the reason you need to tie back this one to your types of application also.
ISO layer.
ISO layers. So usually we have 7 layers, but 7 layers we have been constituted into 3 layers, because if you understand these 3, that would be enough. So why I'm trying to say it is, you should learn these things to means connect the dots. Why we have learned that particular thing. So always there should be certain reasoning. See, for an example, now you learn something algebra or trigonometry. When you are learning something, you should know how to implement, where it required, how it required, or else it doesn't really matter whether you learned it or not learned it, and you'll always forget. Hey, you should know the reasoning why I should learn this and how I can connect this one to the anything. Now you see it, right? The type of applications which you have learned, is it not connecting here?
It is connected.
Now, whatever the type of application, now I need to test it in this particular way.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm trying to perform this functional testing. So now what is this particular functional testing? These are the types of testing which I'm performing at boss. Types of testing. Now you see it, right? Everything have the connectivity. Now what we try to do, see, module level, which I have been come to this module level, I started to do my backend testing, presentation layer testing, and DB layer testing. What I'm trying to test, I'm testing the functionality of that particular layers. Now, first question what you'll be asking it was, see, now from our organization, these are the things which I'm going to test it. Means we test the unit testing. This would be done by the developers, and these are the things backend testing. In the backend, now the architecture may be different. If it is a monolith, I'll be calling it as backend or server side. Or if it is a SOA, service oriented architecture, or the microservices, then I'll be calling them as APIs. EDD, event driven architecture. Now I'll be taking that as a message broker. So now it will have different names based upon the architecture. Based upon the different architectures, it will have different names. You don't need to worry about these names. So for you, it would be very simple at this point of time. Backend, UI or presentation layer, or with the DB layer. So now I'll do the functional testing across these particular 3 layers. So this is layer. This is level. These are different types of testings. So now you need to understand how it would be doing it. So from the types of application, we are bringing it for the testing pyramid or testing layers. And once you got that particular layer, you're doing that one in the levels. In the levels, I'll be having the testing methodologies and the testing types. See, testing methodology will have the testing types, right? Now you tell me white box testing, what we perform? In white box testing, what type of testing we will perform?
Unit
Unit testing.
Unit testing.
Unit testing. Now, in the black box testing, what are the different type of testings I'll perform?
Functional testing and regression
No.
testing.
Functional and the
Testing
regression
and
testing.
non-functional.
And
Functional
Functional
testing.
testings are good
and
for
even
this
yeah,
black
functional and
box.
regression, and even the non-functional also will be covered as part of the black box system. But now, as of now, we just discussed about what is functional testing. Probably, you people has been discussed on the regression testing also, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Today we have
So
discussed.
yes.
We'll dis-
So now, let me before going to the regression testing. So let me complete the non-functional. So now, what is the functionality we have been tested? The functional testing means verifying and validating. Okay, verifying and validating of any particular UI object functionality is called a functional testing, and when we are giving an example. Now, what is non-functional testing?
Like security.
See, the name itself, it was saying it. You shouldn't say that. See, now those security testing, performance testing, those are examples, but you are not defining that particular non-security testing. So, non-functional testing. What do you mean by non-functional testing?
Which we
Verifying
can't
and
see
validating
by
the
naked eye.
non-functionality elements of the application.
Application how it
Performance
is
and
responding. What is
performance.
It's like testing the application different platforms, different versions.
That is called compatibility.
Uh,
That comes under Performance and
application how it
security
is
testing is
working?
called.
Can
See,
feel
those
testing and
all
all.
things are examples of whatever you think you're giving it. So now you are taking the performance and
Checking
defining the
the
performance testing or
object list.
security.
Checking the elements and
That is functional testing.
Application how it is working under pressure, in the
That
stress.
is load testing. That's the difference of that is the
Testing
different type
process
of
of
testing
software
performed in the
application.
performance. Non-functional testing.
functional testing is both
Testing
in
process of
behavior
an
of
software
the
applications.
Okay, you leave. Non-functional.
It doesn't have any
Verifying.
functions of,
Is it-
functionalities. We have to check in that. That one we can call it as a non-functional testing.
Hardware
Verifying.
using performance
it
testing.
helps in
I think-
reducing the production.
Okay. Hold on. Please stop. You're giving a lot of typical answers. You're not giving straight forward answer. You're going around, round, and then verifying and validating non-functionality of a particular application is called non-functional testing. That's it, right? Why you worry? Why you wanted to define your own things? Usually, it will be defined as verifying and validating the look and feel and performance of an application, or not only the performance, the verifying the look and feel, performance, and security or compatibility of an application is called non-functional testing. Or rather than all these things, you'll be keeping that one simple word, that verifying and validating the non-functionality of an application is called non-functional testing. Very simple. Once again, I'll define this one. So you see it here, you can clearly understand. Now, look and feel. Is it a functionality? Look and feel means what?
No.
So now for an
Functionality.
example, now this is a box.
our,
Do you think that this login box should be this much bigger? Will it be big? Will it be good?
No.
So now that's a
No.
look and feel. That's not a functionality of that particular object. I'm just seeing a look and feel. Now, the spelling mistake of login, I is missing. Is it a functional issue?
Functional.
This is
No,
not
it's not a
functional.
functional.
It's a non-functional spelling mistake. Alignment. So now for the Flipkart, for example, here it is here. If it is here, the Flipkart logo, alignments, spelling mistakes, and the look and feel of that particular object. So these colors. Now, if I keep a red color for this particular login button, will it be okay? Dead red with a black color
No, sir.
font.
No.
No, will not do that because it's a look and feel. It changes the complete look and feel of that particular thing. So now, as part of look and feel, it also comes with the colors spellings, alignments, and what else we have been talked about it, colors and sizes, size of that particular objects. So these all things
Performance.
will define the look and feel of the object. First, let's understand, don't give the random answers. What here we are not talking about the performance, that will come later. See, now here we are first talking about the look and feel. As part of look and feel of the application, now whether it is the colors or the spelling mistakes or the alignments or the sizes of the particular objects, so these all things would be part of the look and feel verifications. Next, we also look at it, another bigger pointer, compatibility. Compatibility, I think I have been given one right example for the last time. When we are talking about this particular compatibility testing, we have been talked to. I bought Apple iPods, but I wanted to connect it to the Nothing phone. First, before buying this one, what I'll check whether it is compatible with my phone or not, I'll check that. Right? So the same way, now when this particular software has been developed, for an example, now you take this Swiggy, okay, every time why, so we need to take Swiggy, let's take that as Ola. Okay, so for now I taken the Ola. Now for this particular Ola app, I'll need to check it in the different devices. Right, now for an example, now I taken the Android. Now I need to test, means I'll be need to take the Android phones and iOS. Means can Ola say that only I support only Android? Means that will be not supported in iPhones. Will they can generate the customers? Obviously no. Now if they say that, boss, I only support in the latest version 13, the latest version is 13, Android 13, right? I will not support in 12, 11, 10 operating systems. Will means all people are not migrated till to 13, right? They are in still 12, 11, 10 also. If he says that's one, so will the customers will be, he can gain the customers?
No.
No. So this means he need to, when he releasing a particular app, it need to go across this particular operating systems, Android and iOS operating systems, and across the operating system versions. Now I have Ola Web also, right? In this particular Ola Web, can I say it can be only supported in Chrome? No, I need to go for Firefox. I need to go for Safari. I need to go for Edge. Everywhere this particular, because you can't restrict the user to use only one browser, right? So now some people might be using Chrome, some people might be using Firefox, some people might be using Edge. Based upon their convenience, comfortable, the people uses different browsers. You can't restrict them to use this particular browser only. And in this particular Chrome, hey, use only 120 version or 119 version or 118 version, 117 version. You can't say that. So always you need to test across the versions, across the browsers, across the operating systems. Now, if it is this particular web, so I need to test it in Windows. I need to test it in Windows 11. So Windows 11 is the latest. I can test it in Windows 10. You can't say that whoever had this, because all the previous laptops which he bought it in Windows 10. You can't say that I'll work only on Windows 11. Now the same way it need to be go for the Mac. If it is in Mac, it only works in Yoshmita. It's not worked in any other operating system. Will it be okay? No. It need to work across in all the operating systems of Mac, all the versions of the Mac. So what it means by the compatibility here, it is across the operating systems, across the operating system versions, across the browsers, across the browser versions, across the devices, across the device versions. Means, for an example, in Android 13 itself, I have Oppo, Vivo, Samsung, only different, means only for a specific brand I can support. No, I need to support for all the brands. I need to support for all the device sizes. Size matter, right? Here it is 6.3 inches, 6.4 inches, 6.5 inches, 6 inches, 5.8 inches screen size. It needs to support for all the sizes, right? So it need to be tested across across operating system version, browser version, device versions, and device sizes. Everything it need to be supported for this one. So these are the things will be part of compatibility testing. See, now you did it. See, now you have been performed this particular UI testing here, but still the functionality is working fine. But do you mean, see, if it is working fine in Chrome, will it be sure that will it work in Firefox? No, not at all. Some software will work in Chrome and some will not work in Firefox. Some will work in Chrome 120 and then it will not work in Chrome 119. Some will work in Windows 10, some will not work in Windows 11. So these are all challenges you'll be having it.
Excuse me, sir.
Challenges. Yep.
Sir, we missed the integration level of testing.
You need to understand, I'm not talking about these particular levels at all. I'm not talking about this. I'm just talking about functional and non-functional. As part of non-functional, I'm talking about the compatibility. See, when it goes to the system level, the compatibility testing will do it. But I'm not going on the levels. I told you, right? So first I'll cover this functional and non-functional, then I'll go to it. Now, where I'm defining these two, definition of non-functional testing, I'm talking about it. We talked about functional testing and we're talking about non-functional testing.
Okay, sir, understood. Thank you.
So now the next part of this one is I checked the look and feel of an object. I checked the compatibility of this particular UI in the different browsers and different objects, different operating system versions and all. Next, I'll be validating the performance of that particular application. Performance means what? Triple S. Speed, scalability,
Security.
You destroyed me. Speed, scalability, stability. Security testing is a separate together. This is performance. When you wanted to gauge the performance of any particular application, so these are the three factors. You will see that you give 10,000 users and see what is the speed of this one, how the application is behaving, and you give the 10,000 users and you can see that how the application is scalable from 600 users to 1,000 users, and you give the 1,000 users and then see that, hey, what is the stability of that particular application. Anyways, we have a separate topic together. When you're talking about this performance testing, there we talk about a lot of different factors, what we meant by load testing, stress testing, recovery testing, or endurance testing, spike testing, or durability testing, volume testing. So these are all things for a NAS session. You will be having the different type of performance testing. So where we will be talking as part of different types of testing, we'll talk about this. So as of now, you need to understand what is basically a performance testing means. It talks about the performance of the application. Here we are not talking about the functionality of the application. Here we are talking about the performance of application, how fast it is, how stable it is, and how scalable it is. So that is how we'll be talking from this particular performance point of view. For an example, the best example, usually whenever someone talks about the performance testing, they will take the example of IRCTC. Nowadays, probably you may not book the train tickets, but still many of the people used to book before. Even now, some people will be booking on this one. But the previous versions of the IRCTC, it is really horrible. You know what? Per second, they'll be having 3 lakhs hits. Means if you close your eyes and open, in that particular duration, 3 lakhs hits will have for the server. Because that's a hugely used server gone back before 6 to 7 years ago. Even now it would be used, but still now they have a lot of new concepts which it came to handle that particular load. Because at one shot, 3 lakh people users are using into something, it will crash. So especially for the Tatkal tickets, when you try to book that one, immediately the application server used to get crushed. So anyways, when we go for the performance testing in detail, when we're talking in the types of testing, so we will talk about these particular factors very clearly, and different type of testings, load testing, stress testing, these all things will be discussed as part of performance. But as of now, here the definition for the non-functional testing, it takes the look and feel of the objects, and it also takes the compatibility of this particular objects of the application across the different operating systems or different versions, and it also considers the performance of the particular application. And last but not least, which is very important, security testing, or which takes the security of the application. It is very simple. If someone says that, hey, Amazon is selling all your credit card details, or your UPI details, or your KYC details, will you use that app? That is a major threat. It happened for the Paytm also, right? Paytm is giving that particular KYC information for the Chinese investors. Because of this is a violation from the RBI rules and regulation. You see what is the situation of the Paytm. So now you need to understand the security concepts. So here, this is the biggest ocean. So now this is the next level testers. So in front of you, they can hack any information, and always means already your all informations are hacked. No information is safe and this thing, because okay, when I talk about security testing, we'll talk, because that's a very big one. If I talk about this one, I'll give you a lot of things which it will definitely impacts you a lot. So I don't wanted to get into this one, so I have to be very much cautious, because when we are giving certain training, so one guy has been misleaded that particular concepts. We practically shown some security threats from a retailer. We can buy any particular product for 1 rupee. Even if it is 10,000 worth of product, we can buy within a rupee. He implemented that and he bought it. And so that is the reason. So from there, we have been stopped it. So actually that is security flaw. So many of the retailers still have that particular flaws. And even we can manipulate the flight tickets. And it is not too much typical. It is very simple. Within a minute, you can do all these things. However, so we have to be very cautious on this one. So now holistically, what we wanted to do here is, we wanted to talk about the functional testing and the non-functional testing. So functional testing, we defined it. And when it comes to the non-functional, so verifying and validating, okay, the look and feel of the objects, or the compatibility of that particular application across the different operating systems, versions, different devices, browsers, etc., or verifying the performance of the application in terms of speed, scalability, and stability across the different categories of testing, or verifying the security of that particular application, then this is called non-functional testing. So this is how you need to define the non-functional testing. Understand the concept, don't by heart the definitions. See, non-functional testing, we do this for. So combining this all, verifying these all things is called non-functional testing. Now you tell me how easy these particular layers are. So by seeing this one, you can clearly understand that these 4 are functional testing. These 2 are non-functional testing. And how these things, how these particular layers of testing would be involved, okay, would be involved into our levels of testing. So this is what we need to discuss in the as part of levels of testing. So now already unit testing is part of this, and this will be testing at the unit level. Now all this particular functional part would be involved and tested in this particular module level testing. Now where I need to do this particular non-functional testings? So these are the things which we are going to discuss. Okay. Okay. Any till here, any questions in terms of testing pyramid? or the testing layers. So these can be called as a testing pyramid or layers. You remember it. In interview, if they change the name, don't get confused it. So they'll have a different names for this. And as part of UI presentation layer, either it might be web or it might be mobile. Okay, usually we will be having the 5 levels. It depends upon the company to company, it changes. So we also follow the security level. So that's the reason we kept from the QA box, we have been kept this particular security level. But it depends company to company, it varies. You don't need to worry about this level. So you will be having these particular 5 levels. Any questions for me?
Chris, actually, I'm not able to correlate this pyramid with the levels, Chris. I don't know why. Yeah.
Because till now I didn't talk about the levels, right?
Okay. Okay.
See, now we have been just talked about only layers. You tell me if you have the doubts between the functional and non-functional, and
No.
then this particular layers. No, that
No,
is
till
clear.
the time.
And then now this particular topic is not yet discussed. See, now only what we discussed is unit testing will be done in the unit level. So this is what we have been discussed. And these 3 functional testings will be there, right? Which is the backend presentation ETL would be doing in the module level. Now, what is module level and all these things we not yet discussed. On Saturday, it was discussed, but it is from the point of levels only it has been discussed. Correlation between these things, it is not done. So now I'm trying to do the correlation and then explanation of this particular levels is what we are going to do now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
No questions?
Sir, for testing an application, we'll have some customer requirements, right? For non-functional testing also, we'll follow some customer requirements, sir.
See, you went for a doctor. Okay, he is cardiologist. Will you means you're saying that I have slightly my left arm paining, so doctor refer me to meet the cardiologist. Okay, you went to cardiologist, and will you say to him, boss, I think I have left arm pain, so I think you need to do the ECG and treadmill test, and then I think if these things values are highly evaluated, then you need to go the angioplast or angiogram and do this one and then fix these things. And if it is not there, then you need to go for a stunt, or you can go for a microscopic evaluation part of this one and then do these particular valuations. Will you talk to doctor like this? Will you say all these things to the doctor?
No.
If you say to the doctor, how it would be? Now, the same way, how can a customer can know these all particular details? See, we are experts here. We need to guide the customer. How the doctor will guide us. Similar way, we need to guide the customer. Array, boss, if you're bringing an application, there would be a security threat. If you're bringing an application, you would be having an performance threat. You need to have a functional, hey, you need to do this particular functional level in all the 3 layers, in the UI layer, in the backend layer, in the DB layer. So these are the things you will be keeping in front of the customer. Now customer have the choice to take these particular decisions. See, what is your responsibility as a tester? Boss, if you wanted to test an application 360 degrees, so these are the things which you need to perform. For an example, the doctor suggested us, okay, immediately I think you need to go for an MRI scan and then CT scan, and then I think you need to take these particular all tablets. What will you think? This guy is trying to loot me. Okay, I don't see. I just said that I have my left hand problem. For this one, why he wanted to do with the CT scan or MRI scan or all these tablets and all? This guy, these doctors are like this. They will cheat us. That is what we think. Same way, when we go for a customer and boss, as per the guidelines, when you got a particular application, so you need to do this testings, and then you need to do this testing. When you tell this one to the customer will feel that, hey, this guy, he's trying to milk out from me. He was thinking me like a good cow, so where I can give a good milk to him. So that is where he wanted to tell. Actually speaking, this is really, see, all doctors are not like that. Because certain times when you wanted to drill down the root cause of this one, so you shouldn't neglect on that. You need to go and take this particular things. When, see, that is where he is expert, right? When expert is suggesting it, we need to believe them, or you shouldn't go that further. Either you should say this or that, not in the middle. Either you believe or don't believe. I only partially believe. That shouldn't be not the case. So same way, now when a particular customer comes, they may know or they may not know, but from our expertise, we need to explain them. Because when you wanted to test an application 99%, so you know, right, 6 Sigma, 99.9999999% is quality which they will be giving it. Example, 6 Sigma is applied in many of the industries. The best example is the flight industry. You have a flight. You are traveling from one place to another. Think that we are traveling from Hyderabad to Kashmir. Okay, this flight can reach Kashmir only 98%. 2% of failure where it can have a crash. Will you board this flight?
No.
Only 2% only, right? You can try out, right? 98% probability it will not crash. But 2% of only crash is there. Why you wanted to worry about it? But still, will you fly?
Yes, sir.
We will not take any particular risk.
Yes, sir.
So in the flights, they will have accuracy of 99.9999999%. Even still, there is a chance of not 1% of failure. So that's a 6 Sigma always talks us or trains us. Actually, there is a wonderful concept. Nowadays, it has been closed. Dabba Wala. Harvard University people came to India to do this particular experiment. And the case study on the Dabba Wala, Mumbai Dabba Wala. See, actually what this Mumbai Dabba Wala means, everyday lunch would be given to the respective people. Lunch boxes they will not carry. They will, because they need to travel longer distances in Mumbai. So what they will do is they will go, and this Dabba Wala will go to his home, pick up that particular box and deliver this one to the respective people. For years means for not years, decades. Means, you know, right? 10 years equal to 1 decade. For decades, they have been delivered these things on time. How it is possible across the Mumbai to deliver these particular things? Dabba Wala is in union. How they are able to deliver on time? For doing this one, had other university from different countries, the people used to come and then look after it. But nowadays, who cares about this? Completely, this union was closing now. Always Swiggy, Zomato, and all other things. Let's see now, this Pizza Hut or Domino's are all promise, hey, within 30 minutes I'll deliver. Many times they'll say, sir, I'm sorry, sir, traffic jam, sir, this jam, sir. Okay, fine. But these people never been late, whatever it might be. Rainy season, even during the calamities, also they have been delivered the things on time. So that is what the 6 Sigma practices. If you've done that particular 6 Sigma, you'll be getting that particular accuracy. So 6 Sigma is the highest practices in the testing. So that is where we need to have 6 Sigma, yellow belt, green belt, black belt. So in karate, you have these belts, right? The same way you'll be having in 6 Sigma also. But practicing those things, but See, when I was doing this particular green belt, see, this is a hierarchy. First you need to do yellow, then you need to green, and then you need to do the black. Green itself, I felt that I'm not even eligible to do the green. And forget about the black implementation. See, the basic problem where you will be deviated means learning is not a big deal. See, for an example, if I sit for 6 hours or 8 hours, we can learn these things. But the most important thing is the implementations. When you come to the implementations, there are a lot of diversions, It's not about you, it's about the client. Or in many conditions, it's not about only the client or this particular situations. Every situation, see, for an example, if you're doing something, you should have the tester plan, and then you should have the test estimations, and then you should have the proper documentations, and the documentation should reach to the IST, IEEE 829 standards and all. Doing when we're trying to do this, it takes time, right? Client will say that no, I need this one next hour. Actually speaking, he might require after 2 days, but he will be saying that this is my heart attack situation, give me next hour. And even if you given in next 2 hours, he will keep it for next 2 days, and then he will do the further steps. We need to compromise. Now the implementation, how you need to do these implementations? See, now people only look at output, not the process or procedure. If you see, now that is where this particular, why the testing is not thorough. Even now, why you're seeing the bugs in the production. You take any application, even Google, you know, right? Google is one of the top most firm in the world, right? Google is getting 128 times hacked every year. You know, FBI, which is a highest department, police department in US, this has been hacked more than 185 times in a year. Okay, actually. And you forgot about our databases of Aadhaar card, our databases of PAN card. If you wanted, if you just go, if you pay 15,000, you can get all Aadhaar cards and PAN cards of all our Indians. 15,000 rupees. And all your credit card details. If I pay another 25,000 rupees, I'll get it all. Actually, in Goa, there is a meet, hackers meet. The entry fees for this one is 41,999. If you go here, you can find out the people which is 19 to 25 years age group mostly. I felt that I'm the old there, very old there. These guys in front of us, they hacked ICICI Bank in Goa. While we sitting it, if you are seeing it, they are hacking ICICI Bank, MobiWik, and they're saying that what is your balance? They're asking who wanted to volunteer. Unfortunately, if you volunteer, then so what is your name? And then immediately they will pull out the Aadhaar card, and they will show that, hey boss, this is what your Aadhaar card, this is what your PAN card, and is this your MobiWik account? Is this the balance which you have it? Just very friendly, and they did this everything in 13 minutes. 13 minutes. And you think about anything. So now they can hack your messages, they can hack your WhatsApp chats, and for all these things, you know what? You have 2,800 rupees, 850 rupees one app. I don't want to give these names or here because that would be misused. That app just I installed within a minute, and I can get complete set of informations of yours. What you do in your mobile phone, what is your WhatsApp chat, what the locations you went, what are your messages, what the calls, incoming calls, outgoing calls, what not, whatever the things which I wanted to have it within a minute. 2,850 rupees per month. You know that view even you can't see in your mobile phone. I can see an excellent view. Means what are the things you sent, what are the things you got it, and completely wherever you go, I'm seeing you, because we will never turn off our mobile phones. And the worst part of this one is, if you're speaking also, I can get that particular information, even you didn't call it. What you're speaking also we can get it. So that's the reason. So when you're talking, for example, if you're talking about a Maldives trip, your phone is listening now. Immediately it will throw you Maldives exciting trips. You will be having the offers. These all things already, many movies also they have been shown this, but still. So now always the phones, whatever you keep it, so they can track it and they'll be getting the information. Now what is your personal choices? See, that is where, right, the Chinese government and all the people are trapping our young generation. So it can easily trap the generation. And then if the generation was down with this one, the growth of the country would be gone. Simple apps, nothing bigger apps. With a simple app, if you install one app, it will ask you, hey, allow permissions, allow camera, allow WhatsApp, allow messages, allow contact. Why for an app we need to allow this all? What is the purpose of allowing this? And we'll have a tick mark, terms and conditions. Just tick mark and then click the button. That's it. You're giving the complete control to that app. They can take any data from your mobile phone, your contact list, your photos, your pictures, your videos, everything. Means completely. My boss is used to that, so he is completely driving the complete company. So he's an extraordinary technical person, and he uses Nokia 1100. We all thought to gift him a phone. He said, no boss, phone is just for me to communicate. I'm very happy with this one. If you're giving this phone, I'll donate this one to someone else. I'll not take this. And per annum he might be earning more than 2 CR. But still, see, it all depends upon how you use these technologies. And why I'm saying this, so these all things are security flaws or performance flaws or ETL flaws. So if you release a particular app which is not secure, actually speaking, you are not doing all these things. See, via your app, some middleman will do all these things. So this is called cross-site scripting, man in the middle. Actually, you don't know. You released a good app into the market, and this app is very attractive, and then it was clipped in the market. What a hacker will do is, he takes this one. So now he introduces this particular things into this app. Whoever downloads into this particular app, they will be doing it. But even you are genuinely released this particular app. You don't know. So that is how these things will be happen. I'm telling you, right? That is the reason security sits on the top. See, whatever you do, that's perfectly fine. But the most important thing is security. So that is what it's a lead on the table. And see, AI can replace everything. So now AI replaces unit testing. AI replaces this all. AI replaces the performance, but not security. The next generation would be only very few jobs which AI can't do it. One of the jobs is security, cyber security. Very rare. You take anything, any profession, lawyer, doctor, engineers, you forget now itself. Anything, everything. The blog writer, content writers, all gone now. Remaining professions and every jobs. There is a site. So whether my job is, how my job after 5 years. You can see there. Nothing, no jobs there will be available at that time. Oh, I'm sorry, I think it was already 11:07. So we are overshoot at the time. Okay.
Then what
So
will be the future for the testers?
absolutely. You need to talk about, not about the future of the testers. You take any department, you know, right? There are tools which it automatically develops. The tools which it will be automatically debugs the code. Actually, recently I've given the demonstration on these two things. PPTs or whatever the things you do, any profession. It's not about, you're talking about the profession, right? Testing, development, or you're talking about doctors, lawyers. You take any profession that will be replaced by AI within the span of 5 to 10 years. You see it. See, I'm taking some extra time of yours, but I think you people need to see that particular session which we have been given out. Now, this particular AIs are replacing the CEO of the companies. Now, actually speaking, I did a lot of things. I wanted to just see as a websites. Okay, performance. Now you see it. I don't know anything about the digital marketing. I just say that act as a digital marketing head. Means the digital marketing now a boom, right? Now it is going to dead. Because there are AI digital marketing is coming to the market. It will take care of everything. So now what I did is, I don't know anything about it. I just said that act as a digital marketing head of the company, testing based on create creative and attractive ideas to get the marketing testing strategies. It given me in detail. See, now this is for promotions head, because branding and promotions will have a different sectors, right? Now promotions head, it given me that particular promotions. Now you can see here branding and promotions. Means what it was happening is AI will convert that particular profession into like a branding and promotional head, and it will give you the answer here. So the same way, just so this is a things called as a prompt. Now act as a legal attorney and prepare immediate action for code ethics. See, I was just wanted to prepare. See, now I need to go for a lawyer to get this particular code ethics document. So now you see it, right? It gives me the complete things. Or I wanted to prepare an NDA and MSA. So this is usually prepared by lawyers, right? Prepare an NDA for company and clients. So this is the things which you usually Google it and get those particular things. You know, see. Even the lawyers also can't give this. Now you tell me, is it lawyer required for me? Same way, if you're given as for the doctor prescription, if you're given your conditions, now you can say that act as a doctor. And you know, right, many of the surgeries now you are doing with the robotic surgeries. And now in all warcrafts, defense, you take any particular sector. So the world is revolutionized with the AI. Now what you need to know about is, don't compete with the AI. Don't compete with AI. Work with AI and know how to make these things to work. So this is called AI operators. This is a profession which it will sustain for the next generations. You know what? You just give an application. The application will generate the test cases. It also converts into the automation. It also executes. If any failures, it fixes. and then it generates the report, and then it will move to the production. Now you tell me where the developers are required, where the testers are required. Already the tools are in the market. Already tools are in the current market we have. You see the Mabel. You take anything. So not only from the software engineering point of view, crime detection. Now, this is detecting. I don't know if you guys watched the one of the movie. This movie has been taken before 20 years when I was doing my BTech graduation. What this will do is, this will do the crime detection. Means who is going to do a crime, it will be detected. How they are going to detect is based upon the facial expressions and then the emotions and how they are trying to do on it. Now China implemented this one. It scans every person faces. It scans everything. If anything is going to happen, by default, they will be sending the police officers there before the crime happens. And this guy is there, right? Elon Musk. This guy is introducing a AI chip in the human brain. Means, for an example, you wanted to send a message. If you think, the message will be, by default, it will send to the people. Not only message, email, call, whatever the things. If you think, automatically that will be done. You can see all these things in online. Just they will have another guy. Actually, he's one of my friend who is my colleague. You can see in the YouTube channel also. You'll have a headband. If you're thinking something, this would be connected to your mobile phone, and this will happen. Sending these messages, voice calls, and all these things. So now you tell me, in this situation, which profession is safe? Safest professions are empathy, means nursing jobs. Because everything, means all these people, see now, by default, we become lazy when we have all this particular stuff. Now, even the smallest thing, even see now, you wanted to send emails. So I don't know whether I can show these particular things or not, but still, if you wanted to see Friday emails, so now already many people will be using on this. Now just